Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima, Book 6, Light. Interlude 1, The Legend of Excalibur. The little fairy sighed, the sound carrying an exhaustion and despair much unfitting their infantile appearance. Never in 1,000 years did they dream that this would happen. Puer Aeternus was one of the heart of Altur's first creations, a being of light magic that served as a patron of eternal youth. As such, Puer Aeternus never grew up. They blessed the forest of the young with eternal spring, eventually attracting a cabal of followers to them. There they established the Grotto of the young, a paradise in the woods where no one ever had to grow up or be sad. Puer Aeternus had never heard of what was going on outside the grotto. The heart of Altur's had grown lazy and greedy. It had faltered on its duty to its creation, instead only favoring those whose sacrifices it held most dear. Puer Aeternus had heard tales from those outside the grotto of beings called wendigoes, creatures whose very nature of existence was to steal life from the world around them. They were scared of the tales, but they didn't think that wendigos really existed. Surely there was no such thing as a monster so miserable that its only real joy lay in destruction, was there? They should have heeded the warnings. The youth demigod looked all around at the destruction. What once was a haven of new life was now a land of desolation. Where spring once was, there was now permanent winter. All the trees were dead. All the singing birds and little animals had fled, along with the grove dwellers. Puer Aeternus wanted to crumple and cry, drowning the grotto in their tears. But they couldn't afford to indulge in such a thing now. They had too much work to do. Puer Aeternus had sat here being worshipped by these fairies for so long without really doing anything special. Just lingered on in blissful ignorance, willingly blind to what was going on outside the grotto. And now they were paying the price for it. Their followers were gone. It was past time for Puer Aeternus to prove they were worthy of their place. That's exactly what they set out to do. With great effort, they dragged a weathered broadsword to the altar where services once took place. Wrapping 2 chubby hands around the handle, Puer Aeternus did what they needed to do. As Puer Aeternus's light magic drained from them into the sword, it began to change. The blade renewed itself, turning a bright silvery white and sharpening enough to cut through stone. The handle glossed itself a bright gold, and the gemstone in the center of the hilt shone with a new vigor. Puer Aeternus opened their eyes. The sword in front of them was no longer the old broadsword they had dragged in. It was a new creation, one charged with the raw essence of light. Stepping back, Puer Aeternus noticed another change. Their gaze turned downward to some broken glass on the floor, where they caught their own reflection. Sacrificing so much of their magic had aged them into a young adult. They had flowing gold locks and a sinewy, muscled form. Their ice-blue eyes shone a bit duller than before. Still, Puer Aeternus managed to lift the sword, thrusting it forward. It was perfect. They just needed some armor and they were good to go. As Puer Aeternus left to fetch some armor from the grotto's stores, their mind wandered once more. This was something they should have done a long time ago. The past was long gone, but the future was in the former youth demigod's hands.